In a letter appearing in the weekend edition of the respected Italian newspaper Corriere della Sera, former Italian President Francesco Cossiga revealed the government of Italy agreed to allow Arab terrorist groups freedom of movement in the country in exchange for immunity from attacks on Italian soil. Joining us now is Italian-born Professor Sergio Minerbi. Professor Minerbi has been Ambassador of Israel and Senior Lecturer at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. He's also been a visiting professor at the University of Haifa, as well as publishing a dozen books, among them The Vatican and Zionism. Shalom, Professor Minerbi.
Shalom.
So, Professor, how do you relate to this recent report?
Well, the issue started a little bit before. On the 2nd of August 1980, there was a very strong bomb in the waiting hall of the railway station in Bologna, city in the central north part of Italy. And there were more than 80 killed on the spot and about 200 wounded Italian people. And Bologna is very well known as a town of the left. Most of the people are in favor of the communists. So when eventually it came to the tribunal for a process, for a trial, the decision was taken even before, probably, and all the accusations were against the neo-fascists in Bologna. Seemingly, the idea was that the neo-fascists, being against the communists in Bologna, they will do such a thing against Italy. It took several years, more than 10 years, until Cossiga, who has been former president of Italy, former premier of Italy, started saying that this is a wrong idea to think that the neo-fascists put the bomb, and probably this was an accident of the Palestinians. Accident means not done on purpose, but you know, by the way, when you go around with a small suitcase with 24 kilogram of TNT, it may explode eventually.
And where were those explosives supposed to be detonated?
Nobody knows for sure for the time being, but what happened in the last 2 months is that Cossiga again started the whole issue, and again he said that he knew about an agreement which was taken between the Palestinian resistance. This is the European terminology for terrorists. And Mr. Moro, who was then Prime Minister. And according to this agreement, the Palestinians agreed not to do anything in Italy against Italy itself, but they were, in exchange, they were free to act, for instance, against Israeli targets.
How do you understand this? I mean, the whole world, the whole modern world is out against terror these days, and here we're talking about a civilized democracy that made a deal with terrorists?
I am not here to defend the Italian government, but what you said is not very proper, because as a matter of fact, not the whole world is fighting terrorism all the time. What happens in between in many European countries is that they come to a sort of agreement. I don't touch you, you don't touch me. They buy what generally it's done in protection business with shopkeepers and so on. you buy your peace and you buy either with money or with other systems. The idea is that the other side will eventually respect this agreement. As a matter of fact, we are witness with this bomb in Bologna that the other side did not respect the agreement. So apart from any morality or immorality of the agreement itself, it was not even respected. And later on, Cossiga reminds, a thing which was widely known by the press at that time, that sometime later, Italian police seized a car in central Italy with a missile. And, well, they took the missile, but then Carlos intervened and he said, "Why did you take it? This is mine. This is my missile. I want it back." And this very strange and curious conversation. So, as a matter of fact, we know today for sure there have been agreements of this kind, not once, but more than once.
Tell me, what really is the situation in Italy in terms of Islamic terror infrastructure?
I am not sure that I know what is the infrastructure, but we know for sure that for many, many years Italy was subject to terrorist action against the Italian population. Now there were probably different times and different authors, but the fact is that when Moro was taken by the Red Brigades, one of the things which he repeated several times was, "Please apply to the Palestinians. They know me. They should help me now." They did not help. So my hint is that there was probably a connection between Italian terrorism of the Red Brigades and the Palestinian terrorism.
Professor, Italy is considered a pro-Israel state in the European arena. What do you think this story will do to the Israel-Italy relations?
Well, I would be rather more moderate, but the government officially is much more pro-Israeli now than the previous government. But even now, you see that the Italian commander of UNIFIL in southern Lebanon took a stand which is actually pro-Hezbollah and anti-Israeli. So it depends where, when, and how. And if the commandant-in-chief of the Italian forces inside UNIFIL evaluates that for the sake of his men, he has to come to some kind of agreement with Hezbollah, this is the way which has been followed in the past, and it's a way in the present.
So are we talking here about an Italian phenomenon or something that could be happening in other countries as well?
I am convinced that this is not a purely Italian mischief. It is a problem which involves the whole of Western Europe, the whole European Union, and we see sometimes the signals, sometimes we don't see them, but they probably exist.
So what can be done?
This is a long story, and what should be done is to explain time and again our position and what does it mean to be a terrorist. And terrorism, it's not against Israel. Terrorism is a destruction of the civil life for everybody. And this is not clear at all. But this will not be done increasing the budget of the Ministry of Defense. This can be done only with a much bigger budget for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In order to have a whole series of means to bring Israeli explanations to the public.
Professor Sergio Minerbi, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.